how much do you think you can test with it? Like the surface area of the whole React Native, how much of that internals can you really test with such an application? Because like this is an external application that actually tests, this is testing the usage of the components, right? So how much of the internal surface can you test with such application? So that's one part of the question. And the second part of the question is, how far along are you on this spectrum of like testing?
Okay, so maybe Mateusz, the first part, I will tackle the second one.
Okay. We can mostly everything critical, I say. We can test the critical paths, the positive and the negatives also. It's tricky because, like you said, this is the React Native Tester app is only to show the components. And when you use React Native in your application, then you also need to test it, because when you use the component, maybe you've wrapped it something and you need also test it again. But we are sure that the component, like the in isolated environment, are working correctly.
Mm-hmm.
The next phase of the testing should be in your application. You need to test it again, because I don't know, you use some like the communication, maybe you wrap it with something, then like I said, components are working good in the environment that React Native provided to you, like to the company who is use it. We will sure that it will not break your application, not make the crashes or application, something like that. It will be works like
as
business
expected.
set. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But you cannot like provide guarantee that some very complicated usage of like combining few different components, like this is basically not something that you can foresee and automate, because it will be a huge waste of time probably to create I don't know, 80% of the tests that tests only like 1% of the actual expected
because
usage.
when you close to the edge cases, you spend a lot of more time that the whole positive paths.
Yeah. So that's the first part of the question. So the first one was, let me remind myself, how much can you realistically test through this? And you said all the what? All the
critical
paths
and negative paths.
Oh yeah. So the second part of the question, how far along are you with testing all of the critical, positive and negative paths?
Yeah, so as Mateusz said, we have finished the initial phase of introducing end-to-end test to RNTester. So we have working setup that we will talk about later. We have working setup inside React Native repository. The tests are running on every commit, on every PR, but we do not have tests. We do not have actual tests written. We have only one for, I don't know, like button component or something, but we are working on that. We have one person working full-time on writing actual tests, and we will have an umbrella issue to write actual tests. And that's huge info for those who would like to contribute to React Native repository. And yeah, stay tuned. We'll inform you on the Twitter, on the GitHub that it's happening, and you can improve the React Native.